So ADA has seen a breakout, and on a move to the upside, we ended up testing some key levels, such as the 50 EMA and the 200 EMA. And you can see that we also ended up breaking this local top at 70.72 cents, which then resulted in a change of character on Smart Money Concept, further confirming that we were on this bullish run. And you can also see that we ended up tapping into this region between 71.57 cents to 72.9 cents, where ADA ended up reaching 71.58 cents. And I was looking for ADA to actually tap into this region all the way back here, but that never happened. And instead, we ended up getting rejected, which then led to this move to the downside, where we ended up reaching around 61.86 cents. But ultimately, we ended up tapping into that region once again, and we ended up getting rejected, which led to this move to the downside. And it's looking like what we are forming right now is a 5-wave move, where this is the wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And so this move looks like a corrective move to the downside, given the fact that we saw some decent moves. So I believe it was a 10% move to the upside. And so, yeah, just short of 10%. And so essentially people are taking profits right now. I think it was 10%, if I'm not mistaken. So if I bring that over here, yeah, you're looking at 10% move to the upside. So essentially people are taking profits and they'll be looking to buy at a low price, which could then potentially drive the price of ADA up towards this region once again. And we could potentially break that local top at 71.58 cents. And so, assuming that the fourth wave is complete, what we could see is ADA potentially reach anywhere between 72.12 cents to 73 cents. And you can also see that we were within the overbought conditions on the stochastic RSI, and so the bears did regain control of the market, which then ultimately led to this price action. And given the fact that we are reaching the oversold conditions, I'm looking for the bulls to regain control of the market and then potentially drive the price of ADA up towards this region once again. And this 5-wave move could then form the wave 3, where I'm looking at a bigger 5-wave move, like so. And I'm looking for ADA to then retest this key level once again at 74.6 cents, which is a key level of support and resistance. And that's something I talked about previously, where, for example, here we ended up finding support and we also ended up getting rejected. Singles foot here, we ended up getting rejected, which then led to this move to the downside. And so in order for us to be bullish, then we need ADA to, first of all, retest that level and then find support at that level and then see a continuation to the upside. However, if we get rejected, then it's possible that we are still within a WX, YX, Z structure, where this will be the W wave, this will be the X wave, this will be the Y wave, X, and then a Z wave, where we then potentially tap into this region here, which will actually get slightly adjusted, given the fact that we are seeing high highs. So if I adjust that slightly, actually, and bring that down to over here, what you can see is ADA has the potential to reach anywhere between 57 to 60 cents. And so, yeah, the next key level really will be this level at 74.6 cents. If we get rejected, then that could be bearish and we could see a lower low. But if we find support at that level, then it's possible that we ended up bottoming out at 61.86 cents and we see a continuation to the upside. And you can actually see that Smart Money Concept is currently indicating that we have a strong low and we have a weak high. And so as things stand at the moment, we are looking slightly bullish. So if I go in the 4-hour chart, what you can see is the 4-hour chart is actually showing us that we have a weak low as opposed to a strong low. That's indicated on the hourly chart. And so again, it's possible that we get rejected at this level and then see a continuation to the downside. And should that be the case, then essentially what would end up forming is a WXY structure, where this Y wave would extend beyond the typical requirements, which can happen from time to time, especially in a bullish environment. But ultimately, this WXY structure will be a corrective move, and then we see a further move to the downside. And so that's something to be keeping an eye out for. So going back to the 4-hour chart, what you can see is we ended up getting rejected at the 200 DMA, which then led to this move to the downside. And we are within the overbought conditions on the stochastic RSI. And so if the bears still continue to regain control of the market, then ideally I like ADA to find support at that 50 EMA at 67.90 cents during the time of recording, which will be a good thing. And should that be the case, then we could see that bounce to the upside where we then potentially tap into this region also. And going on a daily chart, what you can see is we also ended up getting rejected at those EMA levels, and we are reaching that overbought conditions. And so I would tread carefully when it comes to trading, and we're not necessarily out of the woods just yet. It's possible that we continue to see higher highs, but it's also possible that we see lower lows. And so that's just my update on Cardano ADA. Hopefully you found it useful, and if you did, then feel free to hit that like button, and if you're new, feel free to subscribe. Take it easy, people. Peace.